Aleniglipron has entered phase 3 after strong oral weight loss results. Its published study showed 11.3% more weight loss than placebo after 36 weeks. Later data showed 16.3% more loss than placebo at 44 weeks. Aleniglipron remains experimental, but those results make it a serious future rival to Wegovy, Zepbound, and other obesity pills. Phase 3 studies are now testing it in much larger groups. Obesity treatment is no longer a contest over the single biggest weight loss number. Patients also care about side effects, dosing, access, cost, and whether they can stay on treatment. A powerful drug has limited value when too many patients stop taking it. Aleniglipron is a once-daily pill made from a small chemical compound. It copies part of the signal from the natural hormone, glucagon-like peptide 1. That signal can reduce appetite and help smaller meals feel satisfying sooner. The same signal can also slow how quickly food leaves the stomach. Smaller meals may feel satisfying for longer, while hunger between meals may become easier to control. Over many months, that lower food intake can produce substantial weight loss. The published Phase 2b trial randomly assigned 230 adults with obesity or overweight, plus a related health problem. Participants received aleniglipron or an inactive placebo pill. The target daily doses were 45, 90, and 120 milligrams. Participants started with an average body mass index of about 39.5. People with diagnosed diabetes were excluded. Their screening test for average blood sugar over 3 months had to stay below 6.5%. This helped limit the study to people without diabetes. After 36 weeks, weight loss increased with the dose. The 120 milligram group lost an estimated 12.1% of body weight from baseline. The placebo group lost about 0.8%, producing an 11.3% advantage for aleniglipron over placebo. That distinction matters when comparing headlines. The 11.3% figure is the estimated difference between treatment and placebo, not the raw change on the scale. For someone starting at 250 pounds, an 11.3% difference equals about 28 pounds. Many participants also reached large weight loss milestones. At 120 milligrams, 86% lost at least 5% of body weight, 70% lost at least 10%, while 38% lost at least 15% during the 36-week controlled study. Weight loss had not clearly leveled off when the first 36 weeks ended. Participants who continued into a follow-up period kept losing weight. A later check showed reductions reaching about 16.2% from baseline in one group after roughly 56 weeks of treatment. A separate Phase 2 study tested higher target doses. At 44 weeks, the 180 milligram group showed 16.3% more weight loss than placebo. The 240 milligram group showed 16.0% more. Average weight was still falling near the end. Those higher dose results came from company data released before full journal publication. The reported 16.3% and 16.0% figures already account for the placebo group's weight change. They show how each higher dose group performed against placebo. Those numbers look competitive beside approved treatments. Standard injectable Wegovy has produced about 15% average weight loss in a major obesity trial. Its approved 7.2 milligram dose can produce greater average loss than the standard dose. Zepbound produced about 20.9% average weight loss at 15 milligrams over 72 weeks in adults without diabetes. These percentages come from separate trials with different designs, populations, durations, and calculation methods, so they are not direct comparisons. Aleniglipron therefore sits in a competitive range, but it has not beaten either injection in a direct trial. Its strongest reported result approaches the weight loss range reported with leading injections, although the trials were separate. The Phase 3 goal is to repeat similar weight loss in larger groups. Pill competition is also much tougher now. Oral Wegovy is approved in the United States, and Foundayo is another approved daily obesity pill. Foundayo contains orforglipron and can be taken without fasting or water restrictions. A pill alone will not make Aleniglipron competitive. It also needs strong weight loss, manageable side effects, simple dosing, reasonable cost, and reliable supply. Some patients may prefer daily tablets, while others will prefer one weekly injection. Side effects may become one of the drug's most important strengths or weaknesses. In the published trial, the main problems were nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, and constipation. Across the Aleniglipron groups, 10.4% stopped treatment because of problems judged related to the medicine. Most treatment stops occurred during dose increases. The published study began at 5 milligrams and raised the dose every 4 weeks. Later studies tested a 2.5 milligram starting dose with smaller steps, aiming to make the early treatment period easier to tolerate. Early company data from those slower schedules were encouraging. In 2 later study groups, 2.0% and 3.4% stopped because of side effects at early checks. The larger Phase 3 trials will show how often patients stop treatment when this slower schedule is used. The published study also showed lower blood pressure and better average blood sugar during treatment. Those changes are useful, but they do not show that the drug prevents major medical events. Longer studies must count heart attacks, strokes, and other major complications directly. Approved competitors already have benefits beyond weight loss. Wegovy reduces major heart-related events in selected adults with heart disease and obesity or overweight. Zepbound is also approved for moderate to severe obstructive sleep apnea in adults with obesity, where the airway repeatedly closes during sleep. That raises the standard for any new obesity medicine. Long-term value will depend on lasting weight control, safety, blood sugar effects, and whether patients can keep taking it as prescribed. A drug that prevents heart attacks or other major complications offers more than weight loss alone. Beyond major complications, what patients lose also matters. Large weight losses usually include reductions in fat and muscle, not just fat. A dedicated Aleniglipron study is measuring body fat, and results are expected later in 2026. That study should clarify what portion of the loss comes from fat. Keeping weight off during continued treatment matters too. Weight commonly returns after obesity medicines are stopped, making continued treatment important for many patients. Long-term success here depends on keeping weight loss stable during continued treatment. The Phase 3 program began dosing patients in August 2026. One large trial plans to enroll up to 3,600 adults with obesity or overweight and a related health problem. A second trial plans up to 1,100 adults who also have type 2 diabetes. Both Phase 3 trials are testing 3 long-term doses against placebo. The target doses are 45, 90, and 180 milligrams. Patients begin at 2.5 milligrams and increase every 4 weeks, using the slower dose increase plan developed in later studies. The large trial without diabetes is designed for at least 76 weeks of treatment. That should provide more reliable estimates of weight loss, side effects, and how many people stay on treatment. The 180 milligram results will show its weight loss and side effects side by side. For people already doing well on Wegovy, Zepbound, oral Wegovy, or Foundayo, Aleniglipron remains a future option. It is not a reason to switch today. For now, Aleniglipron is a promising candidate being tested in much larger populations. The published 11.3% advantage over placebo established Aleniglipron as a credible obesity drug candidate. The later 16.3% results strengthen that case, and Phase 3 dosing has now started. For now, Aleniglipron is a serious Phase 3 contender rather than an established rival to today's leading treatments. Medicine simplified. That's what this channel does. If you want more, hit subscribe. This is not medical advice. consult your doctor.